that's the doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Hey, welcome to the People's Weekly with PeoplesRadioUnited.com. Today I'm here with Glenn. What's up, Glenn?
Happy May Day.
Happy May Day. Nolan couldn't make it today, so it's just me and you. We hope you get better, Nolan, if you're listening.
Yep.
Yeah, so today's show's different. We're not talking about current events or anything, right? We're going to talk about the union, what it is, and we get this music down. What it is, and we're going to go through the whole platform and the demands and all that stuff. So, it's posted on... I'm looking. You Are the Union 1 on Twitter. It's the pinned tweet. So if anyone wants to read it, they can read it there. There's a website coming. It's just not there yet. A lot of people are doing a lot of things, and this virus has slowed down a lot of progress.
Yes.
So we're waiting on this person and that person for different things. And they'll all start coming together hopefully in the next week or two, like 1,000%. But right now it's like pretty, it's there. There'll be missions starting going up tonight. I guess we're getting ahead of ourselves, right, Glenn?
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
So yeah, where should we start?
Well, people are probably curious how the union came about. Like, what was the need of the union? What was not happening that the union wants to change?
Well, I think the people that were working on the union came from a couple different groups, one of which was anonymous, right? So, things started going bad. So people started saying, like, this isn't working out too hot. Maybe we need to go do something else. And plus there was other issues too before the Nazis moved in and all that. There was issues like people would join ops, you know what I mean? And then there'd be like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people on an op. And there'd be like 10 people really doing something, And I don't think it was intentional. I think people thought tweeting and this and that. I mean, it is good. It helps, but that doesn't really get stuff done either. You know what I mean? Like the union, I think people wanted something that was more boots on the ground too. Like the union's based on local communities where Anonymous was you know what I mean? Just a group of people all over the place having different ideologies and different thoughts on what they want things to be like, where some of us back then were talking pretty much after Intel Group went down. We're saying we need something a little bit more structured where there's a belief system and a list of demands or something where people can say like, oh, I'm with this right here, or I'm not with it, then they can just stay away. It's not gonna have a bunch of people mixed in. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna kind of look at the platform and say, I dig this. I'm gonna stick with it. This is something I believe in, or you're not, and that's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a very important difference there.
I'll give credit to credit's due. I don't know if he wants it, but it was Shagwell that said we need something with more structure. You know what I mean? Way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know if
that's
a lot
true.
of people know him, but yeah, that came from his head. I think part of it came from a
Well,
lot of people's heads.
well, I think something like Occupy Wall Street and Anonymous at that period of time, that was something that could only happen then. I mean, it's been almost a decade now, believe it or not. And I think it's a lot easier to see it that way. It was a product of its time. And it took new ways of thinking and new methods of operation by many, and it caught on. But the thing that made the idea of Anonymous catch on is what, at first, very first, when it started to make an impact, was that if the mask made everyone equal, everyone the same, that was the purpose of it. Of course, we know that changed over time, but it was something that was online and went into Meat Space. And then that's when it exploded. But when it did that, it had no mission statement, no nothing. It's just, here we are. We are Anonymous. That's all it was. There was no definition that you could put in a book beside the movement. And that was by design. But look what it resulted in. And I think that's something, no matter where you sit on the fence about things that happened since Occupy Wall Street and through everything else that happened, there were things that were fantastic, like the Arab Spring, and how telecomics and other people gave access, gave voice to these people halfway around the world because it was the right thing to do. And, you know, that was fantastic, but that was just a little group of people within this big umbrella. And I think that's something that I hope when the history comes down about Anonymous that is written. Like you said, Tim, thousands of people join an op, quote unquote. But it's people that you can count on your fingers that get all the shit done.
You know,
you know?
Yeah, that's true. But what I liked about Anonymous was united by one, divided by zero. That's something that I think is still in this, you know, even more so because the union, that's why it says you are the union. It's up to you what you want to do. We give you the tools to do it. We give you things to do. More people will start doing that soon, I'm sure. And everyone's straight up with how much work it's going to be, the risk level. We ask people to take only the missions they think they can do. You know what I mean? We're going to get into missions in a couple minutes.
Yep.
Or probably toward the end of the show, maybe, because we got to go through a lot of stuff. Or I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're kind of winging it right now. I was expecting Nolan to be here. I was just gonna lay it all on Nolan. Like, go Nolan. So yeah, yeah, that's the one thing. It's on you.
Well, I think what I was trying to get around to is when Anonymous broke into the meat space, there were people from every point of the spectrum that suddenly had a mask, and they all claimed to be Anonymous, which did fit what we were told. But how do you define it then? How do you know what side you're on from day to day and with which group? You know, and like you said, this is the difference about the union. The position is known. Here it is. You know, the principles, the demands. It's written out right off the bat.
I mean,
it's not one of these things that can change every hour.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us came from Anonymous, but there's people that came from other groups as well. But you
Oh
know,
yeah.
there's also I mean, because this platform has been in the hands of a crap load of people, man. Just coming back with this edit or that edit or fix this or fix that, or you know, is not just something somebody typed up. It's a lot of
Yep.
people involved in it, trying to get it right. And it'll probably change again, you know, in the future. Not the philosophy or meaning, but probably the wording or something, you know.
Yep.
I'm just guessing. But yeah, but that's the thing though. Like this is geared for communities and local. Like your union starts where you are, and you go and do these missions, and hopefully the missions build you a group of other members that are going to work alongside you.
Yep.
And then yeah, it's just, you know, should we
Well, I
just talk
mean,
about the missions now? I mean, since we're here, so
well,
people
no,
know.
I think you just broke right into the principles.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, when you go to the Twitter account and you look at this statement, you know, the first line, by your works ye shall be known. So, you know, that says
I created that line. No, I'm kidding. We stole it.
yeah. But I mean, it can mean different things to different people, which is fine, but it still has something that you can't escape. Your works, you will be known. There's no, excuse the term, there's no fame fagging in this one. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not happening. That's all I wanted to get out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if someone looks at this and says, "Oh no, I don't like all this. This is nothing like I stand for. I'm like a white supremacist or something," then they probably don't want to be in the union, and that's great.
Yep.
Cause fuck them anyway. But the whole thing is, someone reads this and they say, you know, like most of this is like pretty much close to how I'm thinking, and it's gonna give you a way to do what you want to do and change the world. You know,
And
at
find
least.
other people to share, you know, methods and ideas and other things.
Yeah. Oh, just the union radio is in the chat. Because there's a union radio, it's just not up and running yet. It's going to have a lot of stuff on it, informational kind of stuff, no music. It's not going to be like this, I don't think, from what I'm understanding. So I could be totally wrong. But yeah, there's going to be a union radio station, so you don't have to deal with us if you don't want to. You can go right there and get the stuff from the horse's mouth.
Well, I mean, you
I'm trying to
look at
read.
the
Oh, go ahead.
principles, and it's pretty clear. You know, there's not a lot of ambiguity, and you know, because it resonates with me, I think that's just great. And like he said, there will be some people out there who think that this is just ridiculous. It's the worst way to be. But, you know, we know what those people are, and we don't need them around anyway. So, yeah, I think it's very important that I don't know, mission statement. I'm not really sure what to call it, but I mean,
It's the manifesto.
okay, yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep.
Oh, wow. I don't know if anyone just heard me. I think I might have muted.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, so that's that sponsor. Anyway, we'll talk about those in a minute. Yeah, so just in case anyone didn't hear me, I said those of us with the most privilege will fearlessly assist and defend those with less. And then I kind of explained it, but it's self-explanatory, like I said.
Yep.
The next part is we are... Oh, shoot, my screen went out. We are loving, caring, empathetic, and helpful to anyone in need. We believe in a world community. We are not free until all people are free. When one human hurts, we all hurt. We feed the hungry. We house the houseless. We will defend those who can't defend themselves. Some of this stuff is redundant, but I think people just wanted to make sure it was understood some of the points. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This thing was still changing up until a couple days ago. So where are we? Each of us will work within our local communities near where we live. We will organize within our neighborhoods and spread out to nearby areas as we can. Each union will have different issues and needs. We link with others who have what we need or can give advice on how to solve problems from experience. We will all support each other whenever and however possible.
Seems pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah.
But it's an attitude. It's a commitment, you know? And it flies against what you're going to see if you watch network TV all night. Let's put it that way. You know? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that up here in Canada it's some sort of paradise, but we are certainly not to the same point of materialistic individualism and, again, the word fame fagging that we see in the United States. And the union is definitely speaking against that attitude.
Yeah. So, next one. We will work with other activists and groups in our areas who have common goals. Branding and banners don't matter to us. All that matters is the work gets done. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Like if you can get, you know, like I can make a bunch of burritos and give them out, or I can go work with these cats that do that every week and do hundreds of them or whatever, and probably do a lot better doing it that way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. See, again, that's an attitude. Become part of something that's what you want to do. You know, this is something that was rampant in Anonymous. Two people have the same idea. One person's more popular than the other, so it becomes their idea. The other person who didn't get the idea now works against that person. And, you know, drama. That's the type of thing that is just not part of the direction the union's going. Correct?
I sure hope not. I mean, that's why people work so hard to come up with these things. Because nobody wants it to go that route. We want it to be something that's just simple. Somebody can just pull a card and choose what they want to do one day and make a real difference doing something simple that doesn't cost them anything, or that can cost them a whole lot of time and energy and money or whatever else. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's totally up to them. And then once they're done, other people will be trying to do that. They can be the ones giving the advice on how to do this the best way, or what worked and didn't work for them, you know?
Yep.
That's why each mission will have a hashtag, so people can, like, find people who've done them, do the hashtag, and talk to them about it.
See, people should remember, too, that when Occupy Wall Street turned into the Occupy movement, they were ahead of their time with spreading all their basically their experience database with Occupy camps all over the world. You know, this is what the cops did here. This is what we did. The politicians are going to say this. This is what we did. They were so willing to share their experience with people trying to do what they were doing. See, that's a give and take attitude that I think was part of how Occupy became as big as it was. Because all of a sudden it was like, hey, wait a minute. They're not charging for this experience and this, this data they're willing to give us. That was odd 10 years ago.
It should never be odd.
I know. That's the thing, right? That's the thing. That's what needs to change. I mean, look at the we are all soldiers with no generals.
And we're not there yet, are we?
No, I'm kind of jumping ahead.
Okay. I was like, well, no, did I miss something? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But, at the same time, we are all responsible for our own actions. So
you're your own little general.
See, this is where you were saying, nobody is expected to swing for the fences. Do what you're comfortable with. Do what you're confident you can get done. There's none of this. Again, just quit trying to be a star.
Yeah, and we're going to come up on that when we talk about missions, too. I think it's in here. I think we're coming up to that soon, actually. Where are we now? Oh, as we complete missions, we understand that our ultimate mission is to disrupt, decolonize, dismantle, and destroy any and all oppressive systems around the world. So that's the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like the goal is everyone starts in their local community, spreads out faster than the coronavirus, and pretty soon everybody's working together, side by side with their neighbors. And we can make things happen. More people gives us more power.
People need.
That? Oh, go ahead.
People need to give a shit. And I know all the frustration and the ennui of, nothing's changed in the last insert number of years here. Well, what has really changed about the people opposed to what's happening? Not a whole hell of a lot. So, maybe it's time to try something a little different. That's personal.
Well, I mean, I think. I mean, this so many different weird things randomly were just coming in on the ideas for this, right? So it's like the cards look like on the website they look more like some kind of video game thing, and the ones you'll start seeing on Twitter after today looks like some kind of lottery tickets or something, and then they have a mission on them. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. But everything was stolen from somewhere. That was my point. Nothing's original here. It's just put together differently, I think, right?
Well, I think that's part of it too. In this day and age, there is this belief that there's always something new and fantastic that nobody ever thought of before. Well, not necessarily, There's plenty of good ideas that we're aware of that don't get utilized. Why not, You don't have to find the fucking antidote to COVID to be somebody.
Yes, you do. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, without risk, there can be no change. Each person's threshold for what level of risk they are willing to take is different, and that's fine. All are welcome, but please choose your missions accordingly. Do not expect others to take risks that you yourself would not take. However, we will support each other as well as the missions and risks each of us choose to take on. Is that hard to understand?
I don't think so.
Yeah, just, every mission will have a risk level on it, and it'll basically explain what the worst case scenario could be if you're caught or anything, right? So you can always do missions with low to no risk level. There's missions for people who can't leave their houses only, or can't do a lot, like disabled people or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's missions for, like, anyone can do a mission, and rejoice in the people that complete missions, no matter what color mission they're doing. But don't be like, oh man, I'm out here gonna do this and that, and maybe I'm gonna spray paint some message on a wall or something, and how come everyone else isn't out here doing that? I'm better than them because I'm willing to. No, everyone does their own. You know what I mean? Yep. You chose to do that. That's awesome. They chose to do something else. It's equally as awesome.
That's right. And I think the important thing here is all are welcome, but choose your missions accordingly. See right there. It's like you don't have to be a hero. Like you want to do well, then just fulfill your missions. It doesn't matter what they are, because they are all worthy. And do not expect others to take risks that you yourself would not take. Well, we could talk for hours about what happened in various parts of Anonymous as far as that line goes. There are hundreds of people jailed because they just weren't told what they were getting into. And that is completely off the table in the Union. No way.
I mean, you can take something left, of course, or whatever. I don't mean left as a political term. I mean, like, spitting out in the car. It's on the people. If you're going to be a psychopath or something, I don't know. That's on you. But yeah, the missions are pretty much straightforward. When we get into that, you'll see why. Like, they're color coded. They have how much work they are level, kind of star system on them. It's just ripped off from video game things, basically. I mean, the thing was, people were saying, like, how can we make people be active somehow? Like, what would make people want to do something? And then Kat started saying, like, oh, maybe if we do something like challenges, And it was like, that's dumb, because then it just seems like an internet meme thing. But people really do those, People put out challenges and stuff, and all these idiots start licking toilet seats or doing weird crap. That's meaningless. I wouldn't say missions are like, those are dumb. Missions are more, some missions are silly little things, but there's something behind them. It's explained in the mission details why, because the end goal is to build a community and spread, so people can live the way they want to live, and everybody can be taking care of each other. Because, like, look right now, look what's going on. Who's taking care of the people? Nobody.
Yeah.
Some people are taking care of the people. The other people are like, oh, man, too bad for them. But you build a community, if stuff gets worse, everybody's going to stick together, and then you got a mini little, army right there. You got a group of people that'll take care of each other through thick and thin. And the more it spreads, the bigger that group is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go and say, nah, we're not going to take this stuff no more. We don't want people living on the streets. We don't want to pay all this money for police or whatever. We don't, you know what I mean? More people you have, the more power you have. It kind of is like the union, because eventually you can go on strike, right? You can shut down things. You can do whatever you want if you have enough people. It's a numbers game in the end. It's numbers and heart.
Yep, I agree.
You know, that's what I think it's going to end up being, you know, but you got to build it somehow. Oh, here we are. We are soldiers with no generals. We are all responsible for our own actions. We will accept any and all repercussions for whatever missions we choose to partake in. Sorry. If we get apprehended, we should remain silent, refuse any and all cooperation with the state oppressors, and do everything in our power to protect those who are still free and active at any cost to ourselves. Those still free will do whatever we can to support and gain freedom for any fallen soldiers. Yeah, I mean that pertains to people that are doing red level stuff, are out there really shutting stuff down. You know, you can get arrested or whatever. You know, same thing like Anonymous, same thing like any group, the Panthers, you know, Brown Berets, whoever.
Yep.
There's people willing to take certain risks and there's people not. So this probably won't pertain to like a high percentage of the people. But as we both know, there's people that go in there and just want to go and talk and bring everyone down with them. And then they just start working with the feds or whatever eventually and get paid a lot of money or whatever. So yeah, it's basically saying if you do something and you get cracked, you chose to do that. That was your choice. Nobody said you had to do that. And you knew the job was dangerous and you took it basically. So shut your mouth and go in there and deal with it, because that's your actions that got you there.
Yep.
But at the same time, be smart. Plan ahead. Don't just go and do things on a whim. You know what I mean? Don't talk about everything. Not everything needs to be talked about for the people that are doing those kind of things. Pay attention to details. Don't get caught. That's the whole point. Then this is irrelevant then too. The point is keeping this irrelevant. But it has to be said, right? Because there was a lot of people working with the federales and other groups.
There never seems to be a shortage of them.
No. All right, we are anti-fascist. We do not tolerate racism, classism, sexism, ableism, or any other form of bigotry. That's pretty self-explanatory.
I would say so.
Yeah, and if people don't want to, people say like, well, let me think, I don't know here about, you know, then screw you. The union, this probably isn't for you. If one of these things you think just you know, like I can't not be racist, I can't not be sexist, I can't not make fun of people or something. I mean, you know, like, no, that's on you. You can go be in some other group.
True.
Go do something elsewhere. Like, nobody's needed. So yeah, nobody should have to deal with that kind of crap. There were people that would like lower their standards and work with people that sucked because they're trying to get something done for the same goal for different reasons. You know what I mean? Yep.
Well, again, that goes back to this thing about Anonymous, that there are no leaders. There is no statement of principles or anything. Put a mask on and let her fucking rip. That's not the deal here at all.
No.
But I think this puts us right to the we are neither violent or nonviolent statement.
No, we will never work with or talk to the oppressors. We will never tolerate imperialists, dictators, totalitarians, or fascists. That's just before the violent or nonviolent one.
Yeah.
So yeah, just don't work with the state. Don't talk to law enforcement. Don't talk to feds. No cops, no feds, no whatever they're called in your countries. Shut your mouth. And then as far as the government, you should be hating it anyway. Because, most governments are imperialists, dictatorial, totalitarian, or fascist, or a combination of some of those, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's that. Now we're at that. Go ahead. You was talking about the violent, non-violent part.
Well, we are neither violent or non-violent. We value life, but we will practice self-defense. We will defend ourselves and all other oppressed people by any and all means necessary. I mean, I think, that's a nice way of saying we're not going out there looking to crack heads, but if somebody wants to dance, they can probably be accommodated.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason to go out starting trouble if you're left alone, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to get out and jump on a bus and go on a bus ride, I don't want to fight. But some jackass keep messing with me, pushing on me, hitting me, something. Yeah, then there's a fight, right? That's self-defense. Yep. Now I got to jack you up because you wouldn't just leave me the hell alone. Let me do what I was doing. That's basically self-defense. Want to move on?
Yep. Go ahead.
Cool. This is a really exciting show. I said it thinking about how I never sound excited, but I meant it like legitimately.
Well, this is the beginning of something that could really grow. So, There
we go. Okay. We do not abide by laws or rules we consider to be immoral. We do not recognize borders or colonial nations. Our only authority is the collective will of the people. That's power to the people.
And that idea has been around forever. We're still waiting.
Well, yeah, but people got to fight for it, man. People got to it's going to take action.
Yes.
Going and just standing around or marching around a couple blocks with police escorts and leaving promptly by 6 or 7 p.m. It doesn't really get a lot done. Gets you on the news and blah, 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 but you're not making your point really heard.
Well, I think the issue with stuff like that is who cares if your point is gotten or not? That's a weak fucking point. That ain't how shit changes. It's like people who use the word reform. Reform is not change. That's all you have to know.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. And I mean that literally.
Well, it's just that whole thing about, well, we don't want to push. Well, then you don't want shit. Because that ain't how the world works. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. We welcome people wherever they are in their journey into activism. We welcome all who share our core principles and choose to get involved. We will help to give guidance and education to those who may be less informed on certain topics, politics, and actions. We will assist and nurture those that genuinely want to grow within the movement. So that's for the new people. I guess, yeah, anybody can come in at any level.
Yep.
That's simple. Makes sense. Here comes the fun part. For the sake of our families, friends, and the next generation, we must gain ground against the oppressors. We are all equals. We have no tolerance for egos, infighting, drama, infiltrators, division, or accusations without evidence. We will not tolerate deliberate acts meant to cause division or attacks against the union movement or anyone involved. So yeah, that's an important one. You know, that shouldn't even be going on. People should be focused on completing missions.
But see, a statement like that is the one statement you would never, ever, at any stage, heard in Anonymous. And you wouldn't be able to make it about Anonymous, whether you're talking about 2012 or 2008 or even back further than that. It was never part of their ethos to have a particular position on stuff like that, you know, because everything was for the lulz. Well, that, you know, it came very short of, why did you kill that person for the lulz? You know, like, that's how far for the lulz was taken. Well, people being railroaded is not lulzy. So why pretend it is?
Yeah, I don't know. People just be, like you said before, like people with bigger accounts seem to be more trusted or something. And then they say something about somebody and a whole bunch of people believe it to be the case with no evidence, no nothing. Or sometimes they'll make up evidence. And yeah, it's crazy. And that's how people would attack other people. People who supposedly are in the same group trying to get the same thing. I know it's not a group, it's in the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Supposedly working together. That's
the same
insane.
game. The same game. That's the best way to describe that environment.
Yeah.
But that's another show.
Okay, so that's pretty much wait, let's see. Yeah, that's it for the belief section or the principle section, right? Now we got to move on to the demands. And they're not many. It says we are all citizens of one world and our demands apply to every human on our planet. Our demands simplified. We demand freedom, justice, equality, and peace for all people around the world. That's a simplified version. I'll just read through these and we can just talk about them. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. We demand an immediate termination of any and all murders by rulers, countries, governments, corporations, regimes, or their agencies around the world. No more wars, no more executions, no more justified killings, no more people dying so others can profit. We demand freedom for all people, no more excessive criminalization and filling prisons for profit. We demand immediate release of all prisoners, especially political prisoners around the world. We demand clean water, food, land, shelter, health care, real education, communications, and livable wages or guaranteed income for all people. We demand an end to all borders. We demand that all people be free to migrate and travel anywhere they choose without impediment. We demand true democracy for all people around the world. Each and every person gets one vote for each issue and or policy that affects your life. We do not believe in voting for politicians, bureaucrats, leaders, or rulers, or any policies. I mean, only policies, sorry. I got a text right then. So yeah, we do not believe in voting for politicians, bureaucrats, leaders, or rulers, only policies. We will never stop until all our demands are met and our ultimate mission is accomplished. The ultimate mission was to disrupt, decolonize, dismantle, and destroy oppressive systems around the world, right?
Yep.
And then at the end it says, my union may differ from your union, but we are united as one because we share the same principles and fight for the same demands. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it sounded like a lot talking about it because I'm slow and I'm stoned and all that, but, you know, read through it. It's really simple stuff. Either you're feeling it or you're not. It's that simple.
Well, I know that there are people, and it's just the way they operate, most of them, but, you know, there's, in the demands, there are stuff, there are issues that have been around forever, and they've never gone away. And there are those that say, that's the way it is, can't change the world, blah, blah, blah. Well, look how well the world has been prepared for what's happening right now. So, if you want to tell me that's the way it is, well, how much more proof do you need that the way it is ain't good enough? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who says this is all unicorn shit, well, then goodbye. There are people everywhere, every color, every continent, that think a lot of these things should happen. And can they do it by themselves? Of course not. But, you know, like Tim said earlier, numbers, people, commonality, union. You know, people need to connect. Everybody knows that the powers that be do everything they can to prevent too many people getting together and talking and making plans, because that just might screw up the game. And we can't have that. So, you know, you can say that this is an impossible list, but it's something to aspire to. And that's the important part.
Yeah, you know, and with what's going on right now, nothing's impossible. I don't think, you know, if things get any worse, people are going to be pretty mad. Let's do this the right way one time instead of going back and forth. You know what I mean? We just hit them when they're weak. Get it over with.
Well,
I mean, think about this, man. In the United States, at least, I'm pretty sure most countries around the world, when you protest something like a police murder somebody, you're paying to have the police come back and attack you. That's your money, man. That's tax dollars paying their bill to come out and beat the people who pay their salaries. It's you know, we're paying for bombs to drop all over the world. We can be, you know, if they want a capitalist system, then it's our money. We need to make sure they know that.
yep.
I guess that's where missions come in. Should we switch over to that?
Yep.
Okay, missions are missions. How would you describe them, Glenn?
Missions is an umbrella word. I mean, there are all kinds of different ways to send a message or show support. You know, there's a million ways. There's as many ways to do it as people can come up with, basically.
We have a huge list. I know you've seen some of it. Like crazy amounts of missions. But no, here's the basics. Each mission will have a card that contains information. It'll have a detailed description of what the mission entails. When I say a card, it'll be like a picture. It'll say something like what's the one we got now is Ding Dong Ditch will be coming out. And so let me look at it real quick so I can tell the people while I'm looking at it. Yeah, we have Ding Dong Ditch as one of the ones coming out. And it's a 3-star mission, which means it could possibly be a bit of work if you want to do it. And then if you look at, you'll see it later on. Just listen to what I'm saying right now. If you look at it, you'll see it's got a green background. And that means it's a green level mission. So it's low level. Like, you probably won't get in trouble for doing these missions. The missions they start with blue, which is 0 risk. And that's for people with disabilities or that just can't leave their house or, anxiety, whatever. Everybody has a different issue. And then it goes to, that's the blue level. Green level is very low risk. Like Ding Dong Ditches, putting a social distancing still. We're trying to do missions right now that can be done with the social distancing in mind and under the lockdown orders in some places. So yeah, you have a mask, you have gloves, you go out and put letters on your neighbor's doors to say, can I help you with anything? Is there anything you need? And then, maybe they need groceries or maybe they need something from the store or maybe, if maybe it's an older person can't walk down there and they don't have a transportation and things are hard right now.
Yep.
Maybe somebody needs something from the pharmacy and you got a car and they don't. I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to borrow, some sugar or something. Whatever. The thing is, you ask people what they need, you leave some way they can contact you back, and you get what they need, to the best of your ability. And if you can't do it, you say, I can't do it, but you try. That's what that one is. And then there's another one. This is a blue level right here. Keyboard Warrior. And this one's just basically propaganda kind of stuff. Like, people start completing missions. You boost the missions that are completed, and boost the hashtags for the missions, so people that want to do them can talk amongst each other and learn from each other and inspire each other. It doesn't seem maybe like it's important, but it is, because that's one thing Anonymous did really well. It propagandized. It got people involved. People, wanted to become part of it. People heard about it. People knew about it. Because they had a lot of people out there promoting it all the time. This will be promoted in one way, where that was probably promoted in many different ways for different people, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so it goes blue, green, yellow. Yellow missions. I don't have the mission list right here. Let me see if I can find it. Yellow missions are things where you could potentially get a ticket or something. You know what I mean? Nothing major, but it's possible you can get fined or get a ticket if caught, or or certain places. And it's another thing. It's not always going to be precise. We'll list that thing, but check your area too, because sometimes a green mission here in California could be a yellow mission in maybe, I think, Florida, where if, say it was to go hand out waters to homeless people or something. Mm-hmm. And if that's illegal, then you can get a ticket for it or whatever the repercussion is. So then it probably turns yellow. So double check all the missions. But we're going to do the best to make sure they're pretty accurate for the most part. But there's some places with some wacky laws too. So just double check for your area and make sure you're willing to do it or not. That's the thing. We don't want anyone to do nothing, to feel obligated to do anything. It's the people that want to do what they want to do. And that's the same in any group, right?
Yep.
Everybody has a skill set and talents and things that they can do to help, that are unique to them. And some people are just, brute force out in the streets, and other people are like, creative or, or technical or whatever. Everything's needed. Every movement needs a lot of people. And the union is no different. Okay, so yeah, then you have red level things. Now some things that are red are, they're not illegal per se, but bad things could happen. Like, if you're filming police, you could get murdered or get locked up, even if you're doing everything perfectly legal. So that would probably be a red level, even though most likely you just film them and go away, and everything will be fine. But that's that. It could be a red level. You never know. Police are dangerous and stuff like that. Like, okay, earlier I said something about graffiti on the wall. That would be a red level because you can get arrested for it. So those are, so it goes blue, green, yellow, red. And then it has, each mission has a star, 5 stars on it. And the 2 we just talked about, I think I mentioned the Keyboard Warrior is 1 star, and Ding Dong Ditch is 3 stars, because you might have to go drive around or walk somewhere, do something. It's more work. And each one of these cards has a unique hashtag on it. And those hashtags you can use if you want to show your progress or your completion of missions. Snap a picture, say I'm doing this mission, I got water out to, 100 people or something, and everybody's happy and people are, not so hot. And, they've cooled down. Great, mission accomplished. Share it, inspire people. It's pretty simple and stuff. I mean, I don't know. Am I missing anything here, Glenn?
I don't think so. I mean, people are going to say, okay, well, where are these lists? And, they will be up, and then it'll become, I think, a lot clearer, too.
Yeah. It's like I said, a lot of people are working on different things right now. There's a radio station. Like, I'm not doing that. Pretty much, I'm helping with it, I guess, but someone else is totally doing that. There's a website getting done. That's not, I'm not doing that. So, there's a lot of different aspects to this. There's people doing artwork for the website. There's people, just all kinds of stuff, getting stuff ready so this can just pop off real quick. And like I said, because of the quarantines and lockdowns and social distancing, and people are stressed out, and unemployment, it's slowed down a bit, but it should be, everything should be getting close to done really, really, really soon. And there's always a Twitter site right now, the Twitter, You Are the Union 1. There will be missions on there, but when the website comes, you're gonna be able to have a red, yellow, green, and blue list. And you can just go through them, boom, 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 boom. And eventually there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of missions. They're going to just start going up like crazy. We have lists of mission ideas. Like, these weren't my idea. I mean, we've been having people making lists of missions and sending them in. And, I mean, I encourage other people to do the same. Just tweet at that account a mission idea you might have. We might already have it, we might not. But yeah, we're just, that's it. If everybody's doing missions, things are going to get better. It's that simple. And there's something for everybody.
There you go.
There you go. So, what's your sponsor today, Glenn?
My sponsor today is Blue Dream.
Nice. I'm still with the Snowman OG thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I'm trying to do, oh, real quick. Like the missions will say, have like a number, right? But everything, like maybe you can't. It's harder for some people in some areas to do what you can. But if you could do more too, like say a mission says hand out 20 burritos, make 20 burritos and hand them out. You can do 100, you can do 1,000 if you can. If you have people and time and the resources, don't stop there. Keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's they're not meant to be restrictive. They're meant to get people started. And then there was another thing about missions I was thinking about. So yeah, I mean, take initiative to do that, and then they'll say like get something, like get this and hand it out, or get this and do this or something. So you can get things a lot of ways. You can buy it, you can steal it, you can crowdfund it, you can have somebody, you can just have where people ship you the items you need, so you don't have to deal with money. But if you do deal with money, show receipts. But yeah, there's a million ways to get something. It can be donated. You can go to however you work it out. Nobody cares. Just get it. That's what get it means.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want people to think, oh, they want me to go buy this and buy that and buy this. No, get it. Get it doesn't mean buy it. It means get it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. But
yeah.
like you said, everything will be a lot clearer when the site's up.
Yeah, it'll start getting clearer on the Twitter channel or account as well.
Okay.
People start seeing the missions, and we'll probably put up something that says, it kind of like, maybe we can do something where it kind of has a little picture of one of the missions or two of the little arrow saying this means this means that, this means that. Get it real simple. I guess it's simple stuff. I don't know if it sounds confusing. It's because I'm an idiot explaining it. Like it really is simple. They should have never let me go on the radio. I'm like the worst person, Glenn. You're the best. That's why you're here. Kind of evens out. No. I mean, there's so many little pieces of this that people are going to hear, and it's like, okay, well, I'd like to see this. I'd like to see that. So I mean, it's a good thing too when people are like, okay, where is it? That's kind of what you're trying to do. I believe they call that positive market creation, but that's not union talk. So yeah, I put the website on the Twitter. There's nothing there, but it says coming soon. Has some cool burning tires, and then it has a little Twitter logo that's the actual wrong Twitter handle. I got to remind him to change that. I think that's my fault for not bringing it up. Because we tried to get you are the union, but we had to get one because, I don't know, someone else had it. But, yeah, so he just made it a Rickroll until then. So, yeah, enjoy that. Go and click on it. Yeah, you'll get a nice Rickroll. I'm sure a lot of people haven't been Rickrolled in a while, and it's refreshing.
Refreshing.
But, no, but that site, even though it's a little funny thing, it's coming up. I don't know when, but as soon as I find out, I'll pass the information on. But yeah, like you said, that site's going to have, from what I understand, it's going to have articles on one part, like things written by activists, maybe kind of reminiscent of part of the Intel group, where activists were writing things and they were publishing them for them. But these things will be more useful, kind of helpful ideas, and people who've been doing things for a while explaining how they got started, maybe. And then the missions will be the main part you see on there. We'll have the the platform and demands on there. It just be a lot of information, a lot of good stuff. And like I said, they're gonna have the Union Radio, which is supposed to be a lot of speeches, short speeches by people, and lessons and instructionals and stuff like that. So from what I understand, a lot of stuff's coming from a lot of different directions really soon. It's just who knew this was all going to happen with the virus and all that. So just hang tight, keep, follow the account. You Are the Union 1 on Twitter, and yeah, things will start popping up there. Just pay attention. Anything else, Glenn?
Not from my end.
Cool. So I guess that's it. It was a short show. We need to do another show soon and talk about all the crazy stuff going on. Like you said earlier, it's way out. In Canada and the U.S. You guys are smarter than us, though. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, thank you everybody for listening. Sorry if it was confusing and boring. We were kind of just winging it. I shouldn't have told them that because, I'm sure they thought that was such a well-produced, thought-out, put-together show.
I hope not.
Okay, so yeah, we didn't have many tangents, which is good too. So thanks everyone for listening. Woot woot. All right, we're gonna shut it down.
Happy May Day.
Happy May Day.